Hi, I'm Amy Wan, and I'm here with Alon Goren of Goren Home Ventures. And we are at your investor meetup in Los Angeles. Tell us a little bit
Yes.
about this event.
Well, one of our great friends, mutual friends, Vertalo, was going to be in town, and we were trying to, we've been planning on doing events like this to educate the investors in the area and just everyone in the area about different subjects. And so since Vertalo was going to be in town, we thought, how great would it be to kick off this series with a talk with them? So we put it together. It's at this great location here in LA called Ethos Society, which actually is partly a crypto co-working space.
Oh, interesting. Tell me
Yes.
about that.
So one of the founders, Charles, he was telling us that he participated in crypto very early on. He was a part of the Ethereum crowd sale and did a lot of work in the space. And so one of our mutual friends, a fund named Strong Ventures, a guy named John Nam, actually introduced us to him. And the ethos, the ETH part of ethos is a little Easter egg towards the fact that they participate in crypto, and a bunch of the companies in here are actually crypto companies.
That
So
is
it's
awesome.
just a great spot.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
So you and Joseph every year throw CIS, and it's a fantastic event. Give us a quick preview of what we should be expecting at the next CIS.
It's going to be incredible. So what's very cool about this one is October turns out to be the biggest one every year. And we actually do two a year, one in April, one in October. And October is great because we do LA Blockchain Week. We always have a security token track. We always have enterprise blockchain tracks. We have all these great partnerships. So LA Blockchain Week this year already has about 30 side events separate from CIS that's happening that week. So it's going to be really exciting. October 15th and 16th, we have the Draper Venture Network, which is one of the world's largest network of venture capital funds, has sort of joined forces, is going to bring all of their members to the event.
That's
They're going to have a
incredible.
private lounge. And you're starting to realize that these traditional venture capitalists and investment funds are participating in this space and legitimizing it, and it's very exciting.
That is great. And you guys are a venture capital firm now. So tell me, what are you investing in these days? What's your investment thesis?
So we love sort of both ends of the spectrum. On one hand, we think that the way rules and regulations are not exactly the most fair things in the world, not just in the United States, but around the world, and participating in various deals creates hurdles that makes it tough to participate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we love companies like Vertalo. Full disclosure, they're a portfolio company of ours. We created a company with one of our longtime friends in the industry, Ami Ben David, called Onera, that's going to help streamline those kind of processes. And it's really, really exciting. Now, on the whole opposite end of the spectrum is the whole DeFi movement, decentralized finance. And so companies like Total, people who are basically allowing everyone in the world to participate in a decentralized fashion, is very exciting to us too. It goes completely around regulation, where the other side is let's use technology to streamline dealing with regulation.
Can you give me some insight into the state of the security token investing industry? What are security token infrastructure investors looking at and looking for right now?
I think that first and foremost, always they're looking for good deals before security tokens, right?
Okay.
It has to be a good deal first. If the reason that they're looking at it is only because of security tokens, it still has to be a good deal.
Right.
So they're looking for real estate deals that are tokenized. There's funds that are tokenizing a lot. There's startups are doing it. I think the startups have to just be careful that there is a reason they're tokenizing. And then the more important side of the whole spectrum, in my opinion, sorry, I'm losing my voice. I think I just cracked it. Is existing assets. So the United States has a $7 trillion a year alternative investment market that's already in existence. I'm not talking about invested in those companies every year, but $7 trillion is sitting in alternative assets just in the United States alone. Less than 10% is digital.
Mm-hmm.
That's the market we need to go to, because we're going to take existing securities, we're going to make them more efficient, we're going to make them easier for people to trade. And that's why you see, NASDAQ CEO saying that he's excited for digitizing securities. That's why you see all of these large organizations participating. They see that market, and it's much bigger than the market of small deals fundraising.
Right.
It's exciting to us because we love investing in startups. We like looking at startups, and we love the new novel stuff. But at this stage, it's still harder to participate in tokenized deals. It's still harder to tokenize your deal. So it's not necessarily the best companies doing it every time. It's companies who feel desperate to use some new novel way to raise money. Unless, of course, like I was saying, you're a company who benefits from it or has some tie-in to it where it makes perfect sense for you. Then, all of a sudden, instead of doing something that's a new novel thing that's just a bell and a whistle on the deal, it's actually integral to the deal and it helps you raise money.
What do you think are the challenges that the security token industry currently has, and what is needed to overcome those challenges?
Well, I mean, I guess it was today where the first Reg A plus tokenized security was approved.
Actually, there's two. It's Blockstack and YouNow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, there was two of them, and they were both approved today. So one challenge is that the government wouldn't even approve it until now.
Yes.
And so now we'll see what happens. But in general, that's sort of almost a little an indicator, right? Because it doesn't necessarily have to be a Reg A plus deal. It could be one of the other forms of deals, and people could have still tokenized. But it's just showing it creates unnecessary hurdles. And if you give startups and small companies or small funds all of these extra hurdles and these extra costs, the number one reason they fail anyway is running out of money. So if all of a sudden I need audited financials or special things that cost me more money just to stay alive, you're shooting yourself in the foot as a company.
Right.
So that I think those things are definitely probably the number one hurdle. And then just investor education. Security Token Academy exists, in my opinion, as an outsider, I'm not a part of the company, but exists to basically turn that around for all of us. And that's why I love you guys, and you're always invited to CIS. Investors need to learn about this stuff so that when a deal tells them, oh, we're tokenizing, the investor doesn't go, cool, what does that mean? And then all of a sudden you're talking about what this thing is instead of talking about your company.
Right.
You should be talking about why you have the best deal in the world, not the piece of paper it's written on or the type of digital thing it's on, right? Like nobody goes, what's this email thing you talk about? You're going to send me an email with your documents? Like they know what an email is, right? But maybe 25 years ago, that investor didn't know. So we're overcoming that education hurdle, and thanks to you guys and a lot of great people like you.
Thanks for the shout out. Well, anything else you want to add in terms of what we should plan to see in the security token industry in the future?
I think that we're going to see some really exciting existing securities come on board. We're going to see some projects like, I'm biased, like Onera, but let's say Polymesh, if they build and they execute, things like that will allow us to actually do things in the way we want, right? Because right now, we're digitizing something.
Yeah.
But we're creating a digital token for a piece of paper that exists somewhere else.
Yes.
We're not actually digitizing the deal. The actual terms of the agreements for all the tokenized funds are not in the thing.
Right.
And the people who are participating have to go offline or have to go off various whitelists and different things like that to participate. That's super inefficient. So you're taking something that should make easier transfer and you're complicating it because the technology doesn't exist yet, but it will exist. Whether it's Polymesh or Onera or something else, it will exist. And when that happens in the next few months, few years, it will make it much easier for people to participate. And I know, because I'm behind the scenes at one of those, that we're literally discussing these things with regulated financial institutions around the world. And the whole point of, the way Onera is, at least, is to let those regulated financial institutions participate so that it can grow and so that it actually happens, because they're the ones holding those $7 trillion in assets in just the United States. Now let's go to bonds. Now let's go to all the rest. So it's going to get really exciting.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us, Alon.
Thank you for doing everything you do.
Absolutely. Thanks. And thanks for the shout out.
Of course.
This is Amy Wan with Security Token Academy.